this is my broccoli. It's been growing really well all year. It actually, you probably can't see this, but there was one central stalk that produced a head much like this, and it's been continuing to produce florets through the season in all of the branches of the plant. And this one happened to mature enough to basically create a secondary head, and if I'm looking at it, it's actually a very large branch from the base of the stalk. So if it had a lot more time, I'm sure it would do this more with more of the lower branches, but I just harvest them. Now you can just snap them off, but a head like this can be difficult to get through that really thick woody stalk at the bottom. And I just like to harvest it in big bunches so that it's easier to take inside, and then I'll divide them up later as I'm preparing them. Harvest apron, fill that up. If you're not sure when to harvest your broccoli, I'd say just keep an eye on it. This is doing pretty well. It's still fairly tight and firm, but it's not too small. Some of them I've let go a little bit longer. This one is an example. Most of the floret is good, but you can see it has started to bloom on some of the lower ones. I'll just snap those off. And if the buds are further along like this, then you want to use that up right away. You don't want that to sit in your fridge because they will not keep very well once the flowers are that far along. They'll want to keep blooming, or they'll dry up and die and not be that great to eat. So plan to use them right away. I haven't actually been refrigerating these for very long, if at all. Usually take them in, steam them, and then freeze them, or I'll refrigerate them just till the next meal. But they should keep a little while in the fridge, especially if you do get them young and firm and tight like this one. So this one here, it's nice and tight and close together, and there's still lots of moisture in it, so as long as you refrigerate it right away, it should keep for probably about a week, I'd say, in the fridge for sure. And that's the situation. It's actually a bit smoky out here now. I think it's partly from the fires in the United States and partly from the fires in BC. But since we had forest fires about 20 kilometers away last year, this seems very clean still compared to the orange skies that we had last year that were just downright freaky. And in a way, I don't know, it just feels strange and ordinary. Also wanted to talk about cold season crops. So what will keep growing after the frosts have hit, and if you're like me, the frosts start in late August, early September. Knowing what can handle a frost means you can get an extra month or two on your growing season, which is hugely important when you're in a short season area. Things like broccoli, cabbage, basically anything in the brassica family, anything in the cabbage family, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, all those things can withstand mild frosts, and even to like some degree of hard frost. I think I'll try and get the numbers and I'll put them down on the screen for you. But these things can handle a frost. They're not harmed by it. They will keep growing in through the fall, and you can start them out in the garden much earlier than your last frost date. As an example, I started my onions. I put them in the garden the beginning of May. Now, my last frost date is May 20th, usually. And they survived, they did fine, they did well actually, and it took a little bit of pressure off of my seed starting space inside. Plus I got an extra 3 weeks of outdoor growth from them, which is amazing. So, other things that are frost tolerant are carrots, beets, turnips. Turnips are actually, I think, in the brassica family as well. Turnips and rutabaga. They can handle a certain amount of cold. once the foliage starts dying back really hard, you're going to want to harvest those so that they don't shrivel up and dry out too much. So a lot of things will grow into the cold. I'll try and compile a list, and I'll maybe put it on the screen. Cold season vegetables, which means that you get a lot more season out of it. It's not just tomatoes that are over the beginning of September. There are also things that can begin to grow in very cool conditions, but they don't like frost. Peas are an example. They can handle a very cold environment, but they don't like freezing. So they can be started when the soil is cooler, whereas hot summer crops like tomatoes, like peppers, beans, they all need warm soil to sprout, to germinate, and so you have to watch your soil temperatures a little bit with that. A soil thermometer is a great tool. $10 at a store, and knowing what the temperature of your soil is enables you to seed things as soon as the soil is ready for them, and that way you can make the most out of your growing season. Broccoli is just doing really well. This is actually probably going to be the biggest single harvest I've done, and I expect there'll be another one yet before the snow flies. So with the broccoli, I'm just going to leave them in the garden. I'll keep harvesting as they keep being ready. And I'm just going to leave them in the garden until next year, and I'll let you know how they progress as winter comes on. That's just beautiful. I'm sorry. Anybody else love broccoli? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, do all those things if you're enjoying the content. I love and I live for engagement, so if you have questions, I would love to answer your questions down in the comments below, or you can follow through to our Instagram page and direct message me there or comment in a post, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Really wanting to reach out and build a community of gardeners supporting other gardeners in difficult situations is what I'm here for. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see ya.